Hi everyone, today we have a new video review, and as you can see, this time we are going to talk about fresh release from IBG models. It's a 1/72 scale release, and here we have DAC Sawn-Off British armored car. So this is another version of the armored car in a small scale. As you remember, we reviewed the initial release with a turret, so now we get a turret-less release, and still in 1/72 scale it should be quite an interesting thing, because in this scale we actually get the interior details. We also get a lot of features pre-molded and included into the kit. And of course, it might be handy for some kind of diorama. So here we have the commercial sample. As you can see, it's a kit number 72146. Box size is exactly the same as the previous release. So here is the comparison with my hand. We also have the figurines or the soldiers depicted here, but I'm not sure if they are included here. So we will have to check it in the kit. And here on the side, you can also see 3 other kits in this scale from the same brand, and you can find their reviews on our YouTube channel as well. And here on the opposite side you can see 4 marking options which are included here, or maybe 3, because 1 is shown in the frontal projection. So that's the top opening box, and here is what we have inside. As you can see, there is plenty of space, and we have all frames packed into separate plastic bags. So I'm going to open them right now and we will check everything closer together. So first of all, we are going to start with the Sprue E, and here we have only plastic wheels. So I will zoom in so that you can see what we are talking about here. And plastic wheels, well, I am always saying that it's way better than the typical rubber or vinyl offering, because as you can see here, we have even the features on the tire walls pre-molded, and that might be handy for some nice ideas on weathering. And of course, if I flip it over here, you can see that inside we have the slot for the drum brakes. But as for the painting, of course, you will have to do the circular masking, because well, the circular masks are not included here, and such thing will definitely make it easier to paint your parts. Or maybe you can just use the liquid masks. This also works in this case. Okay, next we continue with the pair of the Sprues. It's the Sprue N, and as you can see here, we have the parts for the storage boxes. So each storage box should be assembled out of separate panels, and overall I think it's a quite smart design, which should be quite quick to assemble, so do not worry about any issues here. Next we continue with the Sprue Q. So here we have the again the plastic road wheels and also some of the hull panels. Everything looks great here, and the only thing which I was saying about these plastic wheels is that we do not have the sag effect here. So that might be a problematic for some modelers, but of course maybe there will be some resin alternatives for this kit. Next we continue here with the parts for the turret section. As you can see, these are also quite small parts, so be sure to use tweezers in some right spots, because otherwise you might end up with the damaged parts. Next we continue with another set of the small frames, so I'm going to open it right now. Okay, so what do we have here? It's the set of the identical plastic sprues. So for example, here we have 3 of the same type, and I will show you only one because there is no need to show the same stuff again and again. It's a Sprue D, and here we have the storage boxes, and they are quite nice out of the box. We have all of the handles and clamps pre-molded, so this is something to keep in mind when you will be trying to replicate some weathering or paint fading, or maybe even some scratches. Next we continue with 2 sprues which are marked as a G sprue. So here we have the drum brakes, which I was talking about way before, and also we have some of the suspension arms which should be installed separately in order to replicate this sophisticated suspension on the vehicle. Next we continue with the large plastic bag. So here we have the bigger plastic sprues. So first of all, we have the Sprue B. Here we have the hull parts, and maybe I'll just zoom out so that you can see what we are talking about here. So these turret parts, they will not be used, but as for the hull sections, as you can see, the doors are pre-molded, so you won't be able to open them. But as I was saying in the previous review, there are some interior parts included, so it should be visible through the turret opening, because here we do not have the turret. And next we continue with some of the interior parts. So here they are. Everything looks nice, but again, due to the scale, those parts are quite small, and with well, with bad eyesight you're gonna have a lot of fun time. So keep this in mind, because this is 1/72 scale after all, and you will have to be careful while building everything. And next we continue with decals and PE fret. So I will just remove this plastic sprue. So for the PE fret, we have here the unpainted PE fret, and if camera will focus, here you can see that we have a lot of parts, and they might be handy for some fine features on your vehicle. But that's not all. As I said, we also have decals. So if I zoom in, here they are. They are printed in tech mode, so you shouldn't be worried about any quality issues. As far as I remember, application was quite easy in case of those decals. So you just need to decide with the marking you would like to see on your vehicle, and then you would be good to go. Next we continue with the assembly manual. So here it is. Let's place this here, close the lenses a bit, zoom out. Okay, so what we have here is the large color printed brochure. We have short history note on the first page. Next we continue with the parts map, and as you can see here we do not have the marking on which parts are not used, so be careful with this. Next we have also the interior painting guide. So as you can see, there are a lot of features to work on, so definitely take some time. And even though we do not have, for example, the engine compartment, I think even the fighting compartment should be enough in this scale. And well, the only thing I can recommend is also to get some figurines, because it's a shame that they are not included, but they are shown on the box art. Next we start assembly with the lower hull section. As you can see, this is quite straightforward process, and I do not see any PE parts used here. They are used on the step 2. So here you will be using some of the PE elements for internals. So be sure to use the right, let's say, glue and also primer in order to paint these parts properly. And note that you can assemble the vehicle floor separately and then just join the hull sections together. This might be actually a useful feature for some painting ideas. And of course, do not forget to mask all of the interior when you'll be painting the outer surfaces. Here we continue with the wheels. So as far as you can see, wheels are offered in several versions, and you should also use, of course, some PE parts on the external surfaces. Here we continue with more of the storage elements on the hull, and I can see that they are also employing some PE parts as well. Here we have first 2 marking options, and they are in this greenish color, so it might be a good opportunity to play with some color modulation, and the same can be said about this third marking option. So overall, we have quite an interesting release in a small scale. In my opinion, interior kit in 1/72 scale is really interesting opportunity to work on, and of course I will be happy to hear your opinion, so do not forget to write it here in the comment section below, and I will see you in the next video review as usual. Thank you for joining me today, and bye.